Hello my friends, it is August the 3rd of 2022. This video is entitled 5 Bands Who Need to Release a New Album. Okay, so this will be a very subjective list. These are 5 bands that I'm a big fan of, and so yeah, I will be explaining to you as to why I think these bands need to release a new album. Okay, so let's get right into the list. Okay, so coming up first is Morbid Angel. Okay, so I've been a huge fan of Morbid Angel for many years. I have been a big fan of theirs since I was 17 years old, okay? And so yeah, I've discussed Morbid Angel many times. Like I said, I just absolutely love them, okay? And so their last album did come out in 2017. That album was entitled Kingdoms Disdained. So not a long time ago, but it's been a good while. It's been 5 years, and the output of Morbid Angel hasn't been too great over the past couple of decades, because of the album they released before that was Illud Divinum Insanus that came out in 2011, and then before that was Heretic in 2003. So they haven't really put out a whole lot of content over the past couple of decades or so, but yeah, I know that Steve Tucker did rejoin the band, I guess sometime before the release of Kingdoms Disdained, and he's a great vocalist and a great bassist, and it would be great if Morbid Angel put out another album with him, and yeah, and it would just be great if they would just put out another album in general. Such a great band, and yeah, just it would be great for them to put out another release. I definitely enjoy Kingdoms Disdained. I know that some fans of Morbid Angel weren't too particularly fond of that album, but I think it's a very good album, okay? I really enjoyed that one, and yeah, it'd be just fantastic if Morbid Angel would release another album, okay? Alright, so up next is Down. Okay, I've been a huge fan of Down since, I guess, my mid-teens. I guess I got into them when I was about 15 or 16, and so I do have all their full lengths and EPs. Yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of theirs, really enjoy their music, and so their last album came out in 2014. The name of the album was Down 4 Part 2. Okay, so yeah, like I said, that was an EP, and I believe they were supposed to release 4 of these EPs as a collection. That's why they entitled it Down 4. There were supposed to be 4 of them for these EPs, okay? So I'm assuming they're still going to release another 2 of these EPs in order to complete that 4 album collection. But yeah, they haven't released anything in 8 years now, and I know they still are performing live, because I did recently watch a live performance of theirs online. Okay, so yeah, they still are together, of course, and but I know the members of that band are very busy. They are involved in other bands as well, and of course Phil Anselmo, the vocalist of Down, is involved in so many projects, has his own record label, and yeah, I mean, obviously the members have so many different responsibilities, so I understand that they don't put out or haven't put out an album in some time. I mean, they haven't released a whole lot of albums. And of course they have been around for I guess many years, since about the early 1990s. But yeah, it would still be great for them to put out another release, and I'm assuming they will at some point. Who knows? It could be another couple of years still, or maybe longer. I don't know. I don't know what their intention is, but it would be great if they would release another album. Alright, so that is Down. Okay, so the next band is Witchcraft. Okay, so yeah, Witchcraft, I'm a big fan of theirs. Have been, I guess, since my early 20s maybe, is when I started to get heavily into them, and I do have all their albums. And so their last album, okay, so it only came out in 2020, yeah, so only about 2 years ago, and that album was entitled Black Metal. And so the thing about that album though is it's an entirely acoustic album. It's like a folk type album, I suppose. It's, yeah, I guess that's the best way to describe it. Kind of like a dark folk type album. Just acoustic guitar and vocals, but yeah, they haven't released like a metal album in many years, and they are primarily known as being more of a doom metal type of band, okay? So their last heavy or metal type album was released in 2016, and that was entitled Nucleus. So yeah, it's been 6 years since they've released a metal album. I don't know what's going on within that band. I know they've gone through some different lineup changes. I know Magnus Pilander I believe he's the only original member of that band, and so I don't know if he's recruited any other members or what his intention is, if he's planning on releasing another metal album or what he's planning on doing. I really don't know. I haven't heard any news coming out of Witchcraft for some time, but yeah, I'd really appreciate a new album from them. And yeah, great band. I still listen to them regularly, and recently have been listening to a lot of their older albums, and yeah, just would love a new album from them. Okay, so that's Witchcraft. The next band is Electric Wizard. Okay, so I'm a huge fan of Electric Wizard. Have been, I guess it's my early 20s as well. I do have all their full-length albums, and yeah, just love them so much. And so their last album came out in 2017, and that was entitled Wizard Bloody Wizard. Okay. The thing about that album is I just wasn't too fond of it. To me, it was a bit of a disappointment. I still can appreciate that album. It's just okay for me. In my opinion, it's definitely one of their weaker albums. Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of it. I do enjoy a couple of the songs on that album especially. Decent album, but to me it was a bit of a disappointment. So yeah, and it's been 5 years since that album has been released, and as far as I know, they still are together. They did release one song, like a single, back in October of 2021. The name of that single was entitled LSD, and I believe it was recorded by the band in order to appear on some type of movie, some type of horror movie. I don't really know too much about that, but yeah, they did release that one song back in, like I said, October of 2021. So I'm assuming they still are planning on releasing another album, but I don't know what's happening. I haven't heard any new news coming out of the out of Electric Wizard, so I really don't know what's happening. But yeah, I really enjoy that band so much, and it would be great, yeah, if they would release a new album. I really would enjoy that so much. Okay, all right, so that's the Electric Wizard, and the last band on my list is System of a Down. Okay, yeah, all right, System of a Down. They still are together. They still do perform live sometimes. But they have not released an album since 2005. And that album, their last album they released, was entitled Hypnotize. Okay. So yeah, 17 years. Yeah, it's been about 17 years since their last album. They did release 2 new songs in November of 2020. They released those 2 singles. Okay. That was, yeah, like I said, November of 2020. So yeah, that's the only new material that we've received from them in the past 17 years. And like I said, they still are together. They just have not released anything since, or like a new album since. I know there's been a lot of talk. There's been talk for many years about them making a new album, recording a new album, but there's been a lot of conflicts from what I understand amongst members of the band. Some members want to release a new album, some don't. So there's been a lot of struggle within that band, but they do still perform live. And the members of the band are also involved with other projects as well, so they are busy with that as well. But yeah, System of a Down, I mean, I've been a big fan of theirs, I guess, since my mid-teens. Yeah, I just really, I still enjoy their music. They're definitely one of my favorite, like, new metal type bands. Yeah, they're definitely one of the bands that really got me into, like, the heavier stuff. That's for sure. And yeah, still a band I appreciate so much. And will they release a new album ever? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? I mean, like I said, it's been so long, and like I said, I understand that there's a lot of conflict amongst the members, and yeah, I know a lot of people out there would love for them to release a new album. Unfortunately, it's just not happening. It may never happen. I mean, hopefully it will happen at some point, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, so yeah, that's System of a Down. Okay, so that is my list of 5 bands who need to release a new album. Okay, so that is a completely subjective list. These are 5 bands that I'm a big fan of, and of course would love to see a new album from. There are many other bands who I would love to see a new album from as well. Okay, but yeah, let me know what you think. Leave some comments. Let me know some of the bands that you would love to see a new album from. Okay, I'm very curious to know. So I want to say thank you very much for watching, and I want to say thanks to all the people who watch my videos and subscribe to my channel. I truly appreciate it. Okay, so take care, my friends. Cheers.